Hello, my name is Matthew Mentlak and this is my ISBO1 assignment. Enjoy. I have chosen to do a business analysis on the company I work for. This is Leeds City Council. Leeds City Council is a huge organisation which provides economic growth for our city. It employs nearly 17,000 people and provides services to over hundreds of thousands in and around the area. Leeds City Council is a government-funded authority, however generates a massive internal income which is used to make Leeds a better place, following the 7 policies which helps strive and continue the high standards which it has to offer. Starting off with Anthony's Triangle. Anthony's Triangle is a method which is used to plan and analyse organisational structures. Within the council, these are just some of the roles and information systems used at each level. On the strategic level, which is where the stakeholders, managing directors and councils will be, this is where new service ideas will be chosen and looked into. SQL Server Reporting Studio will be used here to report on data for new funding and new developments. On the management level, this is generally where management takes place. Operating here, we have directory managers, business and service managers, and general application managers. Applications used here will be to see progress on projects, such as the Gantt chart, which is very useful to utilise resources and to dish out work where needed. Moving on to the operations level, this is where the work takes place and the service is provided. Teams on this level will be business as usual team, information governance, and the applications team. Useful tools which they will use to continue everyday work will be Active Directory, ticket login, and the actual application to reset passwords and create accounts. Moving on to a SWOT analysis. At a strategic level, planning will usually combine an analysis of external environmental factors with an internal analysis of the organisation's strengths and weaknesses. Starting with the strengths of Leeds City Council will be that it has a large workforce. This means multiple projects can be going at the same time without overlapping. Leeds City Council adopts flexible working hours, allowing time off with flexi timesheets. Also, Leeds City Council offers a very good working wage, which is very appealable to the job, to new employees wanting jobs. And Leeds City Council is a well-known authority and a very established organisation, which is known nationwide, as we have many awards with IT standards and PSN compliance. For the weaknesses, Leeds City Council is a local authority and it needs granting from the government. This can increase pressure on certain directories to push them harder and may be a reason for job cuts. Another weakness will be private sectors competing for contracts and services which the council will go for and not always be successful. This could be another reason to not making that grant. Overall, an important weakness which needs addressing is some teams not prioritising projects and upgrading systems. If this continues, the council will be very behind and potentially cost a lot of money to get up to them standards. When opportunities come around, the council will act quickly to benefit the organisation. Employment has always been increased, and Leeds City Council continues to attend career fairs, employing apprentices, and has extended job portals for other applicants wanting to apply and join the council. The future of the council is looking very bright at the moment, with lots of work and even big events that have been organised by the council, such as a triathlon, which is worldwide broadcasted. Some of the threats are something that the council takes very seriously. This is because it strives to provide services efficiently. Possible threats to the organisation could be that Leeds City Council not meeting profitable targets and losing funding by the government on certain departments. The biggest threat for the council is the impending Brexit, where, in a result of leaving the EU, Leeds City Council may have to act and change processes, services and communicate with legal teams and current abroad customers. Another threat is that Leeds City Council has a large number of older workers, which are in retirement time, and it can be hard to employ younger workers as the private sector has more appealing jobs and higher wages. And this could stop the continuity of the business. Moving on to a PESTEL analysis. Forces in the wider world also shape management policies, and a PESTEL analysis is used to help identify some of these. Starting with political. Within the council we have regulations for health and safety to meet government standards such as office, like health and safety, signs and signals regulations. Moving on to economic factors, we have wage levels, which are internally the council matches wage increases every year depending on scale and national change. This is a very good internal factor for the employees. Moving on to cultural. Employs all races and kinds of people. Diversity employs all races and kinds of people to engage in a multicultural workforce. With this, also influences progression by offering courses and more learning opportunities. Moving on to technological. Leeds City Council has systems such as Voice over IP, which is a system that LCC employs and allows internal employees to communicate with each other and make external phone calls to customers. Also, to add with this, Leeds City Council has a VPN software which makes it very easy to enable home working. Moving on to environmental. Leeds City Council is going through a very big change called digitisation. We're moving towards digitising all processes to minimise paper usage and manual labour. This is such as letters and engaging in automation, also aiding the environment. Leeds City Council also enforces and engages people into cycle to work scheme and things like low pollution projects. And last and finally, we have the legal side. So IT regulations that Leeds City Council follows are Data Protection Act, misuse of computers, GDPR, PSN, are all the legal regulations which Leeds City Council complies to allow everyday working and that no laws are broken. Moving on to the Cliff Bowman strategy clock. Just to say that this strategic method is very useful for the council, and this is very useful for the services in which it provides, as it contributes to a more efficient workforce by competing with other councils and leased businesses. They do this by selling services other competitors are not able to sell and meeting customer values by meeting customer matrix. An example of this is the service desk employing on new services such as GPs, where GPs will call up and get tokens to allow them into external and internal networks. This is very good as it saves time, and Leeds City Council are generating an income from that service that they provide. To conclude and collate given information on this poster using Pestel, SWOT and ANSYS triangle, it is clear that Leeds City Council develops trust with its customers by supplying goods and services, and as a local organisation it uses key information systems which grants the workforce better tools to strive as a business, and is clear from the Pestel analysis that Leeds City Council offers a very diverse culture, however may have issues due to Brexit and government funding. Local authorities will be reviewing their plans for public disorder and civil unrest. In the very worst case scenarios, if we do see shortages of food or medicines, council will be thinking about how they protect vulnerable groups such as the children and elderly. Thank you very much for listening.